the rogue trader who almost brought down a bank. In the electrifying arena of global finance, where fortunes are forged and shattered in mere seconds, one man's audacious journey from obscurity to infamy captivated the world. This is the story of Ajay, a rogue trader whose meteoric rise and catastrophic fall at Société Générale, one of France's most revered banking institutions, serves as a gripping saga of ambition, deception, and the intoxicating allure of the markets. It's a tale that unveils the raw, pulsating energy of the financial world, a battlefield where intellect, nerve, and hubris collide with devastating consequences. Ajay's story begins in the early 2000s, in the labyrinthine corridors of Société Générale's Paris headquarters. A young programmer in the bank's technology department, Ajay was a quiet, meticulous figure, crafting the digital backbone that powered the frenetic trading floor. His algorithms and systems were the unsung heroes of the bank's operations, enabling traders to navigate the chaotic currents of the stock market with precision. Yet, beneath his unassuming exterior burned a restless ambition. The trading floor, just beyond his cubicle, was a siren's call, a world of high stakes, adrenaline, and unimaginable wealth. Ajay's fascination with the markets grew with every line of code he wrote. He studied the traders' movements, their rapid-fire decisions, and the intoxicating rhythm of the market's pulse. He wasn't content to remain a bystander, building tools for others to wield. He yearned to step into the arena himself, to feel the thrill of the game firsthand. His opportunity came when the trading department's manager, a seasoned veteran named Mark, noticed his potential. Mark saw in Ajay a rare blend of technical brilliance and raw hunger. In a bold move, he plucked Ajay from the tech department and placed him on the trading floor as a trading assistant. The transition was a baptism by fire. The trading floor was a crucible of chaos, where split-second decisions could yield millions or erase fortunes. As a trading assistant, Ajay thrived in this high-pressure environment, absorbing every lesson like a sponge. He learned the art of tactical analysis, the science of risk assessment, and the psychology of outmaneuvering opponents in a zero-sum game. His colleagues, hardened by the relentless pace, expected him to buckle under the strain, but Ajay was different. He relished the race against time, his stamina seemingly boundless. Within 2 years, Ajay had transformed into a full-fledged trader, earning Mark's trust and a seat at the table. Yet, the leap from assistant to trader was not without its trials. On his first major trade, at €200,000 position, Ajay froze, paralyzed by the weight of the decision. Mark, sensing his hesitation, pulled him aside and gestured toward the glittering skyline of Paris's financial district. "In this game," he said, his voice steady but commanding, €200,000 is a grain of rice. Think bigger. Those words were a revelation. For Ajay, the market ceased to be a series of isolated transactions. It became a grand chessboard, where bold, calculated moves could reshape the entire game. Ajay's early trades were cautious but profitable, building his confidence and reputation. He developed a knack for spotting patterns, a skill honed from years of coding, and his trades began to yield consistent returns. But the markets are unforgiving, and a single miscalculation led to a €100,000 loss, a gut punch that left Ajay reeling. Ashamed and desperate, he turned to Mark for guidance. In a dimly lit corner of the trading floor, Mark revealed a shadowy secret, a loophole in Société Générale's risk management system that allowed traders to make high-risk, off-the-books bets to cover losses. With a few deft keystrokes, Mark executed a daring futures trade, recouping the €100,000 in minutes. Ajay was electrified. The thrill of bending the rules, of turning defeat into victory in an instant, ignited a dangerous spark in his mind. That spark became ablaze in 2005, when Ajay's keen eye detected an unsettling pattern in the stock market. The trends bore an eerie resemblance to those preceding the 9/11 attacks, a period followed by a catastrophic market crash. Convinced history was poised to repeat itself, Ajay saw a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make a fortune. As an ordinary trader with a €2 million trading limit, his ambitions were constrained, but the bank's risk hedging rules offered a way out. By fabricating a hedging transaction, Ajay secured additional funds, bypassing the requirement to balance his short positions with long ones. With surgical precision, he poured everything into shorting the market, amassing a staggering 15 million euros in leveraged bets. As the market surged upward, Ajay's colleagues reveled in their gains, their faces alight with triumph. But Ajay, watching the indices climb, felt the weight of his massive short position like a noose tightening around his neck. Each tick upward eroded his capital, and the pressure became unbearable. Doubts gnawed at him had he misread the signs. Unable to face the prospect of cutting his losses, he asked a colleague to close his positions and fled the trading floor, retreating to the break room to escape the chaos. Then, fate delivered a seismic shock. A news alert flashed across the screens, a London bus explosion. The market, as Ajay had predicted, plummeted. Pandemonium erupted on the trading floor as traders scrambled to salvage their positions. In the quiet of the break room, Ajay caught the news and raced back to his desk. This was his moment. With the market in freefall, he executed a flurry of trades. Ajay's audacity did not go unnoticed. Mark, now aware of his rule-breaking, was stunned by the scale of his gamble. Yet, instead of reprimanding him, Société Générale rewarded him. His trading limit was raised to 5 million euros, and he was hailed as a prodigy. When Mark left for a high-powered role on Wall Street, Ajay stepped into the spotlight as the bank's star trader. In 2006, he generated 12 million euros in profits, cementing his reputation as a market wizard. Yet, his personal commission, a mere 100,000 euros, felt like a slight, fueling a growing resentment toward the bank's hierarchy. By 2007, the financial markets were riding a euphoric wave, but Ajay's instincts told him trouble was brewing. He identified warning signs in the U.S. housing market, where subprime mortgages were beginning to crack. Once again, he chose to short the market, this time with a trading limit exceeding 100 million euros. His bets were colossal, his accounts a labyrinth of unauthorized trades. The bank's management, dazzled by his track record, overlooked the irregularities. But as the market continued its relentless climb, Ajay's losses mounted, reaching a staggering 2 billion euros. The pressure was crushing. Ajay's life became a high-wire act, balancing his public persona as a star trader with the secret web of trades threatening to unravel him. A colleague, entangled in a similar scheme, lost 20 million euros and, consumed by shame, took his own life. At the funeral, Ajay's emotions erupted, a volatile mix of grief for his friend and terror for his own spiraling situation. Yet, luck intervened once more. The subprime crisis erupted, triggering a global financial tsunami. The markets crashed, and Ajay's short positions turned wildly profitable. He earned 1.5 billion euros, but instead of reporting the full amount, he funneled 1.45 billion euros through offshore accounts, hiding his gains to manipulate even larger sums. His mentor, now a Wall Street titan, was horrified when Ajay shared his plan to leverage these funds into hundreds of billions. "You're playing with fire," Mark warned, his voice heavy with concern. No one can control that much money, but Ajay was beyond reason, consumed by the thrill of the game. As the subprime crisis spread to Europe, Société Générale faced massive losses, prompting an internal audit. Ajay's technical expertise allowed him to evade 73 risk alerts, masking his trades with forged transactions. Emboldened, he believed the crisis was nearing its end and shifted to buying stocks aggressively, employing a doubling strategy that promised to erase losses with a single market uptick. This time, luck abandoned him. The market turned against him, and his losses ballooned to 20 billion euros. The bank's auditors, finally closing in, uncovered his hidden accounts. Confronted by management, Ajay confessed to hiding 1.5 billion euros in profits. Astonishingly, the bank's leadership, relieved that his gains offset some of their losses, initially spared him punishment. But when the bank president demanded details of his current holdings, Ajay's response was staggering: 50 billion euros in stocks, more than twice the bank's market value. Held in a market ravaged by the crisis. The revelation was catastrophic. Selling such a massive position to quickly risk triggering a market panic, amplifying losses across the financial system. The bank president, reeling, sent Ajay home. Desperate, Ajay pleaded for more time, convinced a small market rebound could yield billions in profit. But the risk was too great. Société Générale mobilized every resource, taking 3 grueling trading days to unwind Ajay's positions, resulting in a €4.9 billion loss, one of the largest trading scandals in history. Furious, the bank sued Ajay for the full amount, but the courts, recognizing Société Générale's complicity in fostering a culture of rule-bending, rejected the claim. Ajay was sentenced to 5 years in prison, his reputation in tatters. As the financial crisis deepened, the markets continued to plummet, validating his initial instincts. Had the bank held his positions, it might have faced bankruptcy, a bitter irony that underscored the razor-thin line between genius and catastrophe in the financial world. Ajay's story is a cautionary epic, a testament to the seductive power of the markets and the perils of unchecked ambition. A single trader, armed with cunning and a knack for exploiting loopholes, nearly brought down one of France's largest banks. His audacious trades are now a cornerstone of risk management studies, a stark reminder that in the high-stakes arena of finance, the boundary between triumph and ruin is perilously thin. For those drawn to the market's siren song, Ajay's tale is both a warning and a challenge to navigate the chaos with discipline, lest ambition become the architect of one's downfall.